What's it like to have the deal locked in for 2 more years? And do you hope you might be a longer one down the line there?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's good to sort of get the speculation over and done with. I know all my mates were asking me, all my family was asking me, and couldn't really give them an answer until it was signed. So yeah, it's good it's out of the way. And I said I still had next year anyway, but yeah, it's good for reassurance that I'm here. 26, and there's an option as well for 27.
Oh, there's option two.
Yeah.
What is it like to have? What made you take this decision at the end? Because obviously there were suitors out there were people out there with the checkbook ready.
Yeah, I think just sort of what we're building as a squad. I think I've always been quite big on sort of what we have here and the direction we're moving. And I think Harry did a really good job of that last year. And yeah, obviously being a part of the leadership group, you get your fingerprints on there as well. And yeah, I think sort of being part of something bigger than yourself and trying to achieve the main goal. And yeah, I think that's a massive reason why I've signed on, because yeah, I think we've got a great squad. We've got people who are buying into the squad, and I think it's a pretty hard environment to find that anywhere else.
And then go through all the speculation again in 12 months and have your mates ask you the same question. Was that your idea the 1 year, or was it the club's thinking?
It was a bit of both, really. I think the club sort of they offered me a 3-year deal just after the grand final. I just wanted to sit on that for a bit, and then it wasn't until I was speaking to Matt Tripp, one of the owners, about just sort of not comfortable signing a 3-year deal purely based off, I want to get back playing, I want to back enjoying myself, and yeah, I just didn't feel comfortable enough to sign a 3-year deal, and that's when the sort of 1-year extension got offered up, and I thought, it's a great opportunity and position I'm in. I'm sort of haven't played too many games the last few years, so I think signing a long-term deal I didn't really feel comfortable about. I thought I'd rather get back into a rhythm and prove to those people at the club that I've still got what I need to be a premiership player and a valuable member of the squad. So we thought a 1-year extension would be a good timeline to be able to do that, and we just settled on that in the end.
It is an interesting way to look at it though, right? Because I mean, essentially with your injury history, a long-term deal gives you that security.
Yeah.
So is it more just a bet on yourself than a bet on your body?
Yeah, I think so. It's a bet on myself, and I'm obviously, I've probably said this in interviews before, but a big believer in everything happens for a reason. So whether I get an injury and that's it, who knows? I've sort of got bigger things in life that I might be able to chase, and just decision was I couldn't really find myself locking into that. And I know people take security for different reasons. Got family to look after and whatnot, but I'm in a situation where it's just me and I've got a partner, but I didn't really need to think about family or down the track. I sort of can just focus on now, and if it'll be sort of thing.
You mentioned Storm had won the premiership. Would you have thought, well, that challenge has now been ticked off and to move on to something else?
I don't know. It's a tough question to answer. Obviously, you sort of got that hunger of losing a grand final to get back with that squad and win one. But at the same time, I think from a growth perspective, being here, being in Melbourne, around the people I'm around here, that's another factor in the decision as well. There's the footy side of things, but there's also you got access to great people and great mates as well. So I think, it was having to make a decision quickly, and I did take my time with it, but at the end of the day, it was probably more than footy. But it was a selfish decision too, I guess.
You mentioned that the trigger potentially for 2027. So is that you have the option to trigger that?
It's a mutual option, so I don't even know how that works. But I guess if I'm not playing good footy, they can brush me, and if I'm not happy, I can leave, I guess. It's a mutual option, and I just felt really comfortable with that decision. I said, there's an aspect of backing yourself, but I'm not backing myself to get more money. I'm just sort of backing myself to be a valuable member of the squad, and I think that's something that I've really thought about. I think initially when the first offer came through, I was a little bit disheartened and sort of thought, it's probably a little bit of a hit to the ego, taking a pay cut. But I think after sitting on it for a while, it was more than the money. It's a growth decision. It's being in an environment where you've built this thing together and you just want to see it out and see some good things happen from it.
Just on that, when you look at the people around you, and Craig Bellamy's been there such a long time, we've seen so many players leave and not be as good outside the Bellamy system. Is that something you factor in? That, I mean, you're obviously an exceptional player anyway, but leaving the guidance of the coaching guru in a way? Is that
Uh,
something you factor in?
oh, not really. I don't know. I think sort of it's one of those things that probably gets reported, but there's definitely guys who have left Storm and been great players. So it's I feel like it's part of the media sometimes. It's going for the ones who didn't do too well. But yeah, look at Greg Inglis, Dale Finucane, and Nico Hines won a Dahlia medal after he left here. So yeah, I don't think so. I think it's more I've been in a situation now where I've learnt the system. It probably took me 2 years to learn the system. Created some great bonds in the team. I feel like we've got a really good cohesion connection at the moment, and yeah, I think in terms of winning premierships is what the main goal is. I feel like the feel we've got with this team at the moment, that was sort of a massive help in that decision.
Do you feel like this is the best place for you to win a premiership, this club, given the spine's still together and other teams like the Panthers have lost Luai and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think it can be a dangerous trap at times. I think you can sort of get a bit complacent if you've got the same team and whatnot. But yeah, I know Harry's really big on it, and me personally, I'm really big on just evolving and how can we get better, and looking at what we did well, because we did have a really good season last year, and I think it's quite easy to look at the grand final and have as a disappointment. But I think if you look at the whole year as a general, it was a big success, and Penrith played really good on the grand final night, and yeah, if we can keep evolving as a spine and getting those guys to come with us, it's only going to be beneficial.
You mentioned disheartened before, Ryan. Was that the initial 3-year offer that was disheartening?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was just sort of just hearing that I thought I was valued a bit more at the club, but then after sitting back and understanding it, and a bit of a wake-up call and giving myself a slap across the face, it's more than that. There's other guys they need to sign in the squad. I know that the past couple of years I haven't been able to play too many games, so yeah, it's just understanding that, but then also having belief that I can go on with it and can be a better player, and my best isn't past me.
Was your future all shaky after that initial offer?
Probably initially, yeah, but not sort of after I thought about it. I think just instant reaction was like, oh, what? But after that, sort of sitting back on it going, no, I'm actually really lucky. I'm at a great club. I'm around great people. I've got good support. I'm really lucky that I don't have to make a decision based off security. I can do it off what I value and what I believe in. And yeah, after sitting on it, it was pretty silly that I thought that in the first place. But I'm human. You think like that as well, I guess if you're getting a job offer and it's lower than what you're actually on, you're initially going to be a bit upset and question why. But yeah, like I said, once you sit back and realise that it's from growth, it's personally the best decision to stay here. Yeah, you sort of get over that.
The flip side of that is how heavily were you courted by other clubs? We've read in the media, we don't know the ins and outs of it, but there was some other clubs that are pretty keen to get you since your long-term juicy contract. That would have been, I suppose, a stroke to the ego. Yeah,
it's nice knowing that you're sort of wanted by other clubs. I think that's the feeling I got out of that situation. It's the first time I've been off contract, and haven't had to deal with that sort of thing before. So yeah, it was nice to know you're wanted, but at the same time, I do value this club. I do value this club a lot. It's given me the opportunity to play NRL. It's taught me so much. It's been with me through my injuries, and yeah, I feel like it's just a place where I feel like I want to give back, and I still feel like I've got a lot to give. So yeah, once again, after sitting back and weighing it all up, it was an easier decision, but yeah, it was definitely nice to feel wanted.
Do you have any thoughts about how it's going to work with Sewer? Obviously, he's a great talent as well, and he's still at the club. And
yeah, I don't know. They'll have a plan in place, I think. Yeah, it's one of those situations where I guess he's still learning as well, and he's had a couple of years of trying different positions, and yeah, who knows if his time comes and he takes it. And yeah, I don't know what the plan is. I guess the coaches are the ones to make that decision, but we know how much of a talent he is, and how much he can sort of add to our side. So if we can fit him in somewhere, I'm number one advocate for that.
Would you be open or consider playing for the PNG team when they enter the NRL? And do you think players will be put off by having to live in a compound, given the safety concern?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been to PNG a couple of years ago for a Queensland Cup game, and I think their passion's just one of the greats. It's their national sport, really, and I don't know. Living over there, we were there for a few days, and we were in a compound. It's different for sure, but I'm pretty sure that Port Moresby, it's quite a pumping city in itself, and there's a lot of successful people over there. So I'm sure if they're happy to live over there, then NRL players would be the exact same. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they'll put things in place as well to make safety a priority. But in terms of passion and wanting to play for something higher than yourself, definitely a place to go. Yeah.
Would Xavier Coates be the perfect place for that?
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be pretty. I wouldn't want to verse him over there. That's for sure. It's a pretty daunting place to go, but yeah, Save's really proud of his heritage, and I'm sure if he got the chance to go, he'd go. But I feel like a lot of guys in the squad at the moment, it's about winning premierships, and we feel like we're in a really good space at the moment to do that. So I feel like once we win one of them, those discussions are probably put on hold.
How was training yesterday? Enjoyed it?
Yeah, back into it. It was actually my first run in 6 weeks. I had my plates and screws removed out of my ankle, so it was my first run yesterday. It was nice, actually. The weather's been beautiful down here, so can't complain. Was running with Hughesy, and he's still dealing with a bit of a neck issue, so we're just chatting about our break and some plans about what we can do this today and going into this season, which we've got a meeting about in half an hour. So yeah, no, it was good to get back. Good to see the boys' faces and smiling, and it's pre-season, so it's sort of been tainted with that really difficult brush, but I think you realise how much you miss it when you do come back, and miss the company of all the lads and all the staff. I think it's a really special place to be, and it's not until you're actually back in that environment that you realise it.
With your legs and with the screws out and stuff, do you feel like you got a little more you can get back, a little more speed, a little more agility or whatever that you can bring back?
Well, yeah, hopefully. Hopefully that's the plan of it all. I think I did plan to get it out sort of last year, but they thought to keep it in, and then after a few games it sort of snapped back over the plate, so it just made sense to get it all out this off season. And yeah, that's theoretically in my mind, that sort of makes sense, that I'll get my agility and everything sort of back to scratch, but yeah, you still got to put in that work, and I've got a really clear plan with that this year, sort of come back with a mindset of putting things into place. And I think the last few pre-seasons I probably had the mentality, but I didn't really structure it out, whereas this year I've done a lot of soul searching to try and plan it out a bit better.
You mentioned this earlier about you've adapted to the city really well. Saw a bloke go by on the bike and say "Go Pappy." There's not many Melbourne Storm guys who get that. What's your connection like to the city that you've built in your time here?
Yeah, it's great, and I think although we're not well known, I think everyone in Melbourne supports the Storm, and I think that's really special. I think obviously you go up to Sydney and there's so many teams up there, so you don't know, someone might spray you on the bike going past, whereas here you feel the love from everyone, and it's a really nice feeling. So yeah, I feel settled in here, and yeah, those fan encounters and going past there, it's not the first time it happens, and I know all the boys get a kick out of it as well, so hopefully that can stay the same way, and yeah, I do get a massive kick out of it.